Okay, the fourth demonstration is around dashboards and reporting. So we're going to have a look at a high-level consultation dashboard, have a look at some of the KPIs and measures, and that give us an idea of how the consultation has performed. We'll have a look at a set of standard reports which tell us how the engagement has performed in detail. And then finally, we'll use Excel to conduct some ad hoc analysis. So let's go ahead and have a look at our consultation dashboard. In this particular instance, this trust is interested in responses by channel, responses by campaign, and average response rate. And each of these metrics has a drill down capability, so we can actually go into each of these charts in further detail and see the actual data in at a more granular level. So this just gives you an example of some of the capabilities of the various charting that's available. Just some example metrics that may be of interest. Let's go ahead and have a look at an example of a fixed report. So in this instance, we're interested in the performance of this particular engagement, our Change for Life Teachers event. So this gives us a full breakdown of this particular engagement and only this engagement within the consultation as a whole. So we can see sort of time parameters. We've got our donut chart of our planning tasks and their statuses, our various campaign activities and our responses. So we can start to see how effective our various communication channels are. So whether or not email is the most effective, whether or not letter is, or web. And then finally at the very bottom we've got some financial data as well. So what we will also do is we'll have a look and extract some data to Excel. Now when we extract data to Excel, we've got a number of options. We can either use static data or dynamic data. If we use the dynamic options, this gives us the ability to make a link between CRM and Excel, thereby always giving us the latest information whenever we run that Excel pivot table or Excel worksheet. So here I'm just going to select a number of fields that I'm interested in using for analysis. So I'm just going to also add topic and total cost. And export that information out to Excel. And on the right hand side I've got my pivot table field list. So I can start to drag and drop any of those elements into the pivot table. So I'm just going to select topic and drag that in. Stage of the consultation, and then finally I'm just after a simple count. So this will give me a count of the various consultations broken down by topic and the stage at which they're currently at. I can also then produce a chart off of this as well. And I've got a number of various charting options available. I'm just going to select a standard column chart. Apply some simple formatting to this. What we can also do is we can actually we can save this particular report that we've just quickly created, and then also import that back into the CRM solution so that it's available for myself to use over and over again, but also for other users of the system to use as and when required. So, just to quickly recap on some of what we've just covered there, we've got the consultation dashboard, which gives you a high-level dashboard which can allow you to go into further detail as required. We've got detailed reports which give you more granular level of information, and then also when using Excel for reporting, which is a familiar tool to many users, the reports can be made dynamic, so that the next time they're open they pull through the latest information and they can be reused over and over again. The final demonstration is on case management. So in this particular instance, we've taken an example of freedom of information as our case management scenario. So we're going to start by having a look at our freedom of information or our case dashboard. We'll then look to see how a new email can come in with an FOI request and how that request is allocated to an appropriate individual using queue management. How we can take that original email and actually automatically create a case based off that. And then finally, how we can ensure or help to ensure that we comply with the FOI Act and respond within the 20 working day time frame. So first of all, let's have a look at our case dashboard. In this particular example, our case dashboard covers not only FOI cases but also other case types, including housing inquiries, complaints, subject access requests, and also media inquiries. So we've got a number of various charts available there. And if we go into our case area, we can also quickly create a report that we can use over and over again, similar to how we did just a few moments ago. So we use our Excel pivot table, and what we'd like to do is actually produce a report of the number of cases by status and by case type. So we select our relevant fields and we go directly into Excel, and we can start to manipulate our pivot table. So let's drop our status field into the columns area, the subject field, which is our case type, into the rows area, and we're just going to drop a simple count into the middle. All of this data is coming directly from CRM in real time, so as CRM updates, our Excel pivot table will also update to reflect the latest changes. So we're going to turn this into a graph now, and as I mentioned before, we've got a variety of various graph types. We can also add our own formatting, so this is just going to give us our various cases, our various case types, and whether the count of each of those, whether they're active or they've been resolved. As mentioned, we can now save this and allow this to be reused over and over again. So let's have a look at a patient who's requesting some information from us. So we've got for ease, I'll just create a quick email myself and send it back to myself, just so that we can see how that email comes into our mailbox and then how it automatically generates a case from this. So we go into our queues area. We've got a number of various queues which we can use to monitor for incoming emails. So if we have a look at the FOI queue, we can see that the email has just come in. But you'll also notice that there are two copies of this, one which is an email, one which is a case. The case has automatically been generated by our workflow system. And what you'll notice is, if we have a look at the case, we'll see that a lot of the information has already been taken directly from the email. So the title comes from the subject line, description comes from the email body, and the follow-up by is set to 20 working days from date of receipt. So that's automatically generated for us. If we have a quick look at the workflows that are running in the background, the first of these sets the 20 working day timescale. We also have, so this is the one that sets the 20 working day timescale from the date of receipt, helping to ensure that we comply with the 20 working day time frame. And these other two, which have just been highlighted, allow us to, one, send a reminder 5 working days before the request is due, and the one above that, send an automated acknowledgement email to the requester confirming receipt of their request. And what we'll actually do is just have a quick look at the email that was sent as an acknowledgement to the requester. So you'll see the types of email that we can start to automatically generate, again helping to reduce the amount of manual intervention that is required. which obviously allows, which frees up staff time to focus on other areas of business. So just to summarise, we've had a look at our FOI and case management dashboard. We've seen how we can do some quick charting and reporting. We've seen how a new email that comes in to a mailbox can be automatically converted into a case and assigned to a particular queue, and also how we can start to automate some of the common activities, so an acknowledgement email, our standard 20 working day follow-up time frame. So just to cover off some of the benefits, in terms of benefits, we have a management overview through the dashboard, increased productivity through automation of case creation and also sending of acknowledgement emails, and we can help to increase the number of requests that are resolved within the 20 working day time period by starting to utilise workflows and automated reminders. I'm going to hand over to Jeremy now, who will take you through the rest of the presentation.
Thanks, Niraj. So I'm just going to return us to the slide deck and just to close off for today, picking up from those demonstrations and just to summarise what we've seen and talk about some of the benefits. So we're going to, as I think I've already mentioned, share a copy of the presentation that we've delivered today, both in terms of the slides that you're seeing and also the recording of the entire presentation, including demonstrations, will be made available for you to revisit in your own time. In terms of what we've seen and their benefits, so everything that Niraj has shown you is based on Microsoft Dynamics CRM. We've seen how that integrates seamlessly with other common tools such as Outlook, and really the key message here is that it improves the productivity of people by supporting a seamless transition between the tools in a workflow where people needn't actually necessarily concern themselves or even know that they are using different tools. It is about workflow. It is about making people more productive. We've seen the personalization, secure desktop and web access options that are available with CRM, and there's a range of other benefits here which actually Niraj has already largely covered in his presentation. So rather than go over all of that again, I'll refer you to this slide as part of the material that we will share with you as an ongoing part of our support of your understanding of the capabilities of CRM. So to summarize then, you've seen Dynamics CRM solutions for the NHS as delivered and developed by IMGroup, comprising stakeholder management, case and referrals management, and lastly and most recently, how our NHS clients use CRM to improve their turnaround times on responding to requests for freedom of information. We've also, I hope, illustrated how CRM can be used as a platform to consolidate and automate legacy processes, and that has a whole range of benefits in terms of decommissioning expensive software systems that you may have to maintain, centralizing applications into a common platform so that you have a more complete picture of the processes in play at the trust or in your organization, and that then lends itself to a more sort of holistic view of performance by providing a single platform for data and information and knowledge sharing. So we have, I hope, shown you how you can use CRM to deliver benefits to the NHS and to the broader community of supplier organisations commissioned by the NHS by saving time, increasing productivity, improving relationships with all stakeholders, and at the end of the day, what this webinar was hopefully going to illustrate to you, that you can improve outcomes while reducing costs.